The original plan was to make this video when the update launched, but as you can see, I'm a little late. But I do have a good reason for that. I honestly just haven't had a drive to make content. A little bit more recently, it's starting to pick up. But after getting dev wiped by Funcom for no reason and trying to figure out why and all that fun stuff, you know, I could just say I'm a little bitter towards the game right now. The community too. Oh my, what a community we have. Anyways, today's video, what I wanted to do originally was look at legendaries and, you know, see what legendaries would allow me to apply poison to them. Now, before I get into the video, I wanted to say I will be making a spreadsheet which will have all the legendaries, and I will also try to include more weapons that are PvP focused, weapons that are actually used, not weapons that people usually don't craft or waste their time on. And, you know, I will add that to a spreadsheet. I will update it and add it into the video description. And when I do later videos on other weapons that, you know, you can apply poison to and stuff like that, I will also include that spreadsheet. I just haven't gotten around to making the spreadsheet, and, you know, just kind of down about how Funcom. That's a video in itself. We'll get to that one day. But anyways, we're going to start this off. Not going to try to drag it on any longer. The first thing we got, these are just mix match items. I just thought they were kind of funny. You know, I think it's funny that you can put poison on bindings. That is such a silly thing, and like, what's the point of it? The same thing with the truncheon and stuff. Like, there's some silly things that it lets you do. The mallet is actually a strength weapon. I'm not sure why it's in here. It must have gotten in here because it looks like a hammer, but no, this actually acts like an axe. So pretty cool. Pretty sure that's Siptah bound though, so you're probably not going to be finding that on Exiled Lands. I did include legendaries that you will find on both maps. So keep that in mind. Bows, obviously, you can't apply poison to bows, thankfully, because bows are running rampant right now. That's the last thing I need. The next thing we got, some chakram, some knives. As you can see, we've got berserkers, fist blades, blood moon chakram, blood moon punching daggers, knaves knives, and nimble finger. All can apply poison. If you're interested in what you can apply poison to, we actually did put them in the box next to it so we could actually, you know, sorted things properly and try to sort them by like weapon class. We do have a lot of swords though. This sword, I've never used this sword. You know, you get it so many times out of the dungeon on Siptah, but you just never seem to really use it. It always just sits in base, or just, I think we threw it in the dismantling bench. I think you can dismantle it. But you got Black Corsair sword, Black Storm sword, Calandra sword, Dueling Blade of the Hawk. I was interesting to see some of these actually allowing poison, because, you know, swords are still strong. They did take a bit of a nerf with the update, but I don't know. It's such a weird, I'm sorry, just like this is such a weird weapon. I love it, you know, like a farmer just had enough, I guess. But as you can see, you know, this is the one thing. Can I rant for a second? Can we talk about like skins? Like, you know, you think, oh, that looks like an L's drinker. You know, there's like what, 3 different swords that I think look like that. If we look in this box, there you go, L's drinker, the Belias, like, and then Spectre's Bane. Like, come on, guys, you can come up with some different artwork. This sword, I still think needs to get reworked. Funcom, you have to literally buy this sword, and it's terrible. It's not that great. This isn't that great either. You can get it up at the volcano, but it's better than this, and it's just a drop from killing an NPC, so you can't go wrong with that. I do like that this, you can actually apply poison. It is an agility sword, and I think that's kind of nice that it allows you to put poison on it. You got short sword of Prince Craxus, you know. The predatory blade, of course, can have poison. Just remember with predatory that they do work differently based on the attack that you are using. So as you can see, it does a lot of damage, but you're not going to get that for both heavy and light attacks. If you were curious about the swords that didn't make the cut with poison, obviously there's a few of them, but honestly, you could actually apply a lot of poison to swords. I was surprised to see that, and I guess it's just maybe because swords got that nerf they did. I don't know. Anyways, over here we've got some katanas. Blade of the Seven Winds. I was actually surprised to see that you can apply poison to this. That ridiculous armor pen that it has. Don't see a lot of people using it these days, but it's usually Musashi's Black Blade that gets used. But I'm pretty sure you get Graceful Knight on Siptah. I've never seen it on Exiled Lands. These two, that's actually pretty good. I'm pretty sure that's Siptah 2. Not 100%. Verify those things, but I just wanted to go over them. These are the ones that didn't make the cut, obviously. Musashi's Black Blade, but still a good katana. I like katanas for when I'm in a farm build or a PvE build, you know, doing stuff around the world. Two-handed swords, we got Baal, Tor's Razor, of course, which is, you know, kind of become a favorite because it is an agility weapon. It is kind of nice. You could rock an agility build with maybe a weight build and a health, you know, it's kind of nice. Blade of the Adventurer, of course. Foolish Blade, which is Siptah bound. Jedi's Great Saber, you can apply poison to that. That's pretty neat. It's always fun to have those sound effects that it makes. The Line Bastard Sword, which is it's all right. Here, I'll tell you. If you guys never used this sword, it's basically an axe. So this is actually something fun to transmog on other axes and stuff like that, because people, it's insane. I'm assuming it's going to increase the reach too, because that's just how it works. Of course, the Sword of Crom, you can't put poison on it. But just remember, the best way to use the Sword of Crom is with rolling thrust, so you don't get that complete stamina drain. Over here, we got some daggers, of course. As you can see, you know, there's a few. So it's always fun. Daggers aren't as used as they once were, because getting away from them is so much easier. But, you know, these are interesting because of escalating. If you don't know what escalating does, I figured I'd throw in some information too while I'm making this video. But escalating, obviously, it's the more hits you get on a target, it will continuously apply more and more damage based on how many hits. I've never really used escalating weapons, but that's what that does if you were ever curious. Gotta love the Glasser. I like transmogging knives into that if I get them, because they usually just sit around base, so it's fun to transmog them. These are ones that didn't make the cut. You know, not that many. You can actually put poison on quite a few, so it's nice. Plundering, I'll throw that in there if you don't know what plundering is. Some of you might not know. That's just going to take your buffs away, so it's nice. It's fun. That was a fun thing back in the day when you had like 7-8 buffs on your character, and then all of a sudden, shoop, they're gone. So for spears, obviously the Mordlin should not be in here, but it is. Not a lot of spears. Staff of Hanuman you can, the Vaulting Pole, and the Warrior Spear of the Black Circle, which is a terrible spear. Great if you're just starting out, I guess. It's nice to get a spear, but as you can see, like, I don't have the weapon attachments, but right off the bat, 67/9% for the Mordlin. The Mordlin is one of the most used pikes currently. These are just a couple rare pikes that you can get on the map. I'm pretty sure. I want to say that these are Siptah. I could be wrong though. Pikes that did make the cut, of course. We got Black Dragon Pike, which is one of my favorite pikes to use for agility, especially if you're in a weight build or, you know, a bombing build. It's nice to be able to have a pike that you can get some reach on. Gavin's Rusty Pike, which has also become one of my favorite pikes recently because of the disease effect. Diseased is something that stacks over time, and as it stacks, you got to have some set pots to get rid of it. It's just one of those effects that is, it's annoying to deal with the more you get hit by it. Whereas the Mordlin, you're just going to have to deal with corruption. But also with disease, the reason I like it is it's going to help, I think, you know, stunt people with glutton a bit more if you can actually stack the hits on it. It's a nice little thing. I've been enjoying the pike. My teammates hate it because if I hit them with it, well, they got a nice debuff on them. Foolish Pike, obviously that's Siptah. It's already poison, so it makes sense why you can't apply poison. Infectious Reach, assuming that's Siptah as well, because I'm not saying for sure it's Siptah. I'm like 99.9% it is Siptah because I kind of know weapons. I've played the game too much. I should retire, but I don't want to say, yep, that's Siptah, and then someone cracks me. But I'm pretty sure that's Siptah. Lifeblood Spear, uh, Long Ligor Fane, Lodligor Fane, whatever, I never say that. And then the Impaler. I like the Impaler. I actually like gouging. It's not as strong as it should be. I hope they actually go in and rework gouging maybe a little bit because it's a form of bleed. It would be kind of nice to see that get some love in the future. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. You never know with Funcom. Okay, that's empty. So that was actually just there's honestly not a lot of great axes. The Scythe of Bag is probably one of the best ones you want to go after. You obviously can't apply poison to it, but as you can see, without even a weapon attachment, 90 damage over 0 armor pen. You'll probably get what, about 12% armor pen with a armor attachment. But there's not a lot of love for great axes in the legendary department and rare department, and I'm okay with that because they're annoying to deal with and they're already overpowered. I'm sure they're gonna nerf one day. Here we go with some hammers, of course. Baltor's Lordstone, you can do it. The Becte Corbin, Crom's Hammer, Doom, Evening Star, Fate of Saranoth. I've never even heard of that one. What's that do? 69 over 49. Fiendbone Hammer does 66 over 45. I guess I could show some of the stats, but I figured, you know, you kind of already know your weapons, I would hope, and you're out there looking for weapons that maybe you can apply poison to. It's the whole point of the video. Forge Light, Hammer of the Whale, Hanuman's Gata. Like, this is something you just slap on a thrall because the weight at 50 pounds, geez. I don't know. I've never used it because, like, if it was agility, they should just switch it to agility. It would be the most broken hammer. Everyone would be using it because, you know, if you're in a weight build, it's not a big deal at that point. But I guess you could stack weight buffs or something. I don't know. I've never seen anyone use it. It's usually just something you slap on a thrall. Maelstrom we got right here, 79 over 0. But as you can see, you know, there's quite a few hammers that you can actually apply poison to. And I think that's fine because hammers aren't what they once were. They once were a meta weapon used by people, and, you know, I've started to see people slowly using them again, but they're not what they were back in the day. And don't even get me started on the nerf to obsidian weapons, one of the in-game components, you know, that you have to farm, and then the recipe you get, and let's just nerf those into the ground, right, Funcom? Okay. But obviously the Destroyer, Hammer of Thag, Ranasan, Sledge of I don't know Funcom lore or how to pronounce half these things, so don't judge me. And then World Breaker. World Breaker is one of my favorite hammers. I mean, just look at that armor penetration. People running around in heavy armor, you're gonna smack them up. Over here we got some maces. Not a lot of maces, as you can see in the legendary department. Of course, you can apply it to the love tap, but if you know the love tap, you know what it's used for. It is not used for fighting. It is usually used for knocking things out. The unintelligible you can apply poison to, and the momentum, and that's a nice one because the momentum you can still buy from NPCs in the game or some coin, so that's kind of nice. It was fun when people were rolling, smacking with that thing. Still hurts, it slaps. So if you've never used a momentum, I'd say try it out. It's kind of fun, especially once you get a weapon attachment on it with some poison and rolling thrust. It's just fun. Obviously, these are your rares that you can find across the maps based on Exiled Lands and Siptah. Most of these, I want to say, like the Word, I know you can get that on Exiled Lands. Unintelligible Exiled Lands, Momentum Exiled Lands, Love Tap Exiled Lands. The rest of these, not 100% sure, but you're probably not going to see people using them that much anyways. And obviously, the ones that didn't make the cut: Ajah's Bane, Ghoulish Club, Heated Argument, Mace of Bag, Mitro's Justice, Nordis, Quake, and the Brittle Bastard. They really like Bastard being in the title of some of their weapons. It's like a little trend I'm starting to notice. First off, we've got Axe of the Lion, which is another predatory weapon with ridiculous health damage, but something you're not going to see him play a lot. Some of these predatory weapons are actually nice in water PvP because of the amount of damage they can do. So it's kind of cool that you can apply some poison to it. You got Bane of the Voiceless Ones, which is a rare, another rare, which is Broken Glass. Glimmer Moon, which is something that you can buy still from an NPC, and It's actually pretty good. I've actually been using it a lot. It's great for water PvP. It's a nice axe. It's kind of slowly taking the place of the Lemurian axe, since the Lemurian axe got kind of a bit of a nerf, but it's nice that you can apply poison to it. Raging axe, which I'm going to assume is, not Exiled Lands, but I could be wrong. Reaver's axe, and then of course strangely familiar axe. And the ones that didn't make the cut, quite a few, as you can see. Act of Violence, Axe of the Bear, and just quite a few. But Dog's Touch was just one of my favorites, just because it's got great armor pen right off the bat, and you put a weapon attachment on it. It's nice, and it's easy to farm. It's not hard. It's not a hard one to get. Festering one, Executioner's Axe. But like I said, I will be making a spreadsheet. I just thought I'd make a video discussing it and showing it. The spreadsheet would be more useful. I'm assuming that's what people would be more interested in the long run anyways. In the future, I will be going through more weapons to see what they allow us to apply poison to. Knowing my luck, this video will be completely useless because they'll completely change the weapons and the poison system again, and then I'll just have to say this is outdated. But if you found any of the information useful, helpful, leave a comment, leave a like. I'm out of here. And the video coming, I will be getting to the video talking about Funcom and the Fun Dev Wipe.